Have you ever pondered what makes certain foods haram or forbidden in Islam? Let's dive into the fascinating world of dietary laws in Islam and unravel the concept of haram food. The term haram in Arabic means forbidden. When it comes to food, haram refers to any food or beverage that is prohibited by Islamic law, as defined in the Quran. Now, why would a religion have dietary laws? That's a great question. You see, dietary laws are a fundamental part of many religions, including Islam. They serve as a guide to living a healthy, balanced, and moral life. In Islam, dietary laws are taken very seriously, as they are seen as a form of worship, a way of life. It's not just about what's on your plate, it's about purity, ethics, and community. It's about respecting the sanctity of life, promoting good health, and maintaining a strong spiritual connection. Now, you might be wondering what types of food are considered haram. Well, there are several categories of food and drink that are haram, including, but not limited to, certain types of meat, alcohol, and foods containing certain additives. For instance, pork is strictly forbidden in Islam. Similarly, any meat that is not slaughtered in the name of Allah is considered haram. Alcohol, being an intoxicant, is also prohibited. And then there are certain additives, like gelatin or emulsifiers, which can sometimes be derived from haram sources, making the foods they are in haram. But remember, it's not just about what is haram, it's also about what is halal, or permissible. The world of Islamic dietary laws is vast and intricate, with many layers to explore. In today's video, we aim to demystify the concept of haram food in Islam. We'll be delving deeper into the Islamic dietary laws, the types of haram food, and the reasoning behind them. So, whether you're a practicing Muslim looking to deepen your understanding, or simply a curious mind, stay tuned as we embark on this enlightening journey. Dietary laws in Islam are a significant part of a Muslim's life. The Islamic dietary laws, or halal, are based on the teachings found in the Quran, the holy book of Islam. These laws form an integral part of a Muslim's life, guiding them on what is permissible, or halal, and what is not, or haram. At the core of these laws is the belief in consuming food that is pure, clean, and beneficial for the body and soul. This not only pertains to the type of food, but also the manner in which it is prepared and consumed. For instance, the Quran states, "O you who believe, eat of the good things that we have provided for you and be grateful to Allah, if it is Him you worship." Surah 2, verse 172. This verse emphasizes the importance of consuming good, pure food as an act of worship. Contrasting with halal is haram or forbidden food. This includes foods like pork and its byproducts, animals not properly slaughtered in the name of Allah, and intoxicants such as alcohol. The Quran makes it explicit in Surah 2, verse 173. He has only forbidden to you dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine, and that which has been dedicated to other than Allah. But it's not just about the food itself. The Islamic dietary laws also stress on ethical aspects of food production and consumption. This includes treating animals with kindness, avoiding wastage, and ensuring fair trade practices. It's also important to mention that there are certain foods and drinks that fall into a grey area, known as mashbu. These are food items that aren't clearly defined as halal or haram, and Muslims are advised to avoid them out of caution. In essence, these laws are not just about following a set of rules. They embody a holistic approach to eating, emphasizing on physical health, spiritual well-being, and ethical considerations. They encourage Muslims to be mindful of their food choices, promoting a balanced and wholesome lifestyle. Understanding these laws helps us comprehend why certain foods are deemed haram. So, what foods are considered haram in Islam? Well, there are several types of food that are considered haram or forbidden in Islam. Perhaps the most well-known of these is pork. It's a staple in many diets around the world, but for Muslims, it's off the table. This prohibition is based on several verses in the Quran, where the consumption of pork is explicitly forbidden. The reason behind this prohibition is considered to be twofold. Firstly, there are health concerns. The pig is a scavenger, and it's believed that it carries diseases that can be harmful to humans. Secondly, there's a spiritual aspect. The pig is seen as a symbol of impurity and greed, traits that are discouraged in Islam. Another haram food that might surprise you is alcohol. Now you might be thinking, but it's a drink, not a food. However, in Islam, the term food covers everything that's consumed, including drinks. Alcohol is forbidden because it's seen as a substance that clouds the mind and leads to poor decision-making. There's a verse in the Quran that says, "O you who have believed indeed, intoxicants, gambling, stone altars, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan, so avoid it that you may be successful." This verse clearly labels alcohol as a work of Satan, designed to lead people astray. There are also certain methods of food preparation that are considered haram. For example, any animal that's not killed in the name of Allah is considered haram. This includes animals that have been strangled, beaten to death, killed by a fall, gored to death, or eaten by another animal. Furthermore, any food that's been dedicated or sacrificed to idols or false gods is also considered haram. This is because Islam is strictly monotheistic, and any form of idolatry is seen as a grave sin. These foods, among others, are haram due to explicit prohibitions in the Quran. Why does Islam prohibit certain foods? This question undoubtedly crosses the minds of many. The Islamic dietary laws are not arbitrary, they are deeply rooted in principles of health, hygiene, and moral teachings. The reasoning behind the prohibition of certain foods in Islam can be traced back to the concept of tahara and najasa, purity and impurity. In Islam, purity is not just a physical state, but also a spiritual and moral one. Consuming haram, or forbidden foods, is believed to taint this purity. Let's delve deeper into this. The foods that are haram are often associated with harmful effects on the body and the soul. For instance, pork is forbidden due to its high risk of disease transmission and its general unhygienic nature. Alcohol, another haram substance, is prohibited due to its mind-altering effects, leading individuals away from clear thought and good judgment. The Islamic dietary laws also advocate for the ethical treatment of animals. This is seen in the prohibition of eating carnivorous animals, blood, and animals that have not been slaughtered in the name of Allah. These laws promote kindness, mercy, and respect towards all creatures. Furthermore, the concept of haram extends beyond just food. It applies to actions and behaviors as well. Consuming haram food is seen as a breach of these moral standards, leading to spiritual impurity. The teachings of Islam promote a holistic approach to health and well-being. This includes the consumption of pure, wholesome, and ethically sourced food. It's not just about what goes into the mouth, but also what nourishes the body and soul. In essence, the prohibition of certain foods in Islam is a testament to the religion's commitment to the health and well-being of its followers, both physically and spiritually. It's about maintaining a balance and harmony between the physical, spiritual, and moral aspects of life. So the next time you wonder, why does Islam prohibit certain foods? Remember, the prohibition of certain foods is not arbitrary, but rather based on principles of health, hygiene, and moral teachings. The concept of haram food is not just about prohibitions, but about a way of life. The journey through the landscape of haram food in Islam reveals a world that is more than just a list of do's and don'ts. It's a world that is deeply intertwined with the principles of health, ethics, and respect for all of God's creations. It's about living a life that is not only physically nourishing but also spiritually fulfilling. Let's take a moment to reflect on the significance of understanding haram food, not only for Muslims but for everyone. It offers a window into a way of life that values mindfulness in consumption. It's about being aware of what we eat, how it's sourced, and the impact it has on our bodies and the world around us. However, it's not just about following rules. It's about embracing a lifestyle that places great importance on the ethical treatment of animals, the preservation of the environment, and the promotion of personal health and well-being. It's about choosing to live in a way that is harmonious with the world we inhabit and respectful of the life that shares it with us. The beauty of understanding haram food lies in the realization that it is a reflection of a broader philosophy. It's a philosophy that encourages us to live in balance with nature, to respect the sanctity of life, and to strive for ethical consumption. It's about making choices that are not only good for us, but also good for the world. So whether you're a Muslim navigating the complexities of dietary laws, or a non-Muslim curious about the principles that guide Islamic lifestyle, the concept of haram food offers valuable insights. It promotes mindful eating, ethical consumption, and a deep respect for all of God's creations. Understanding haram food in Islam allows us to appreciate the depth and thoughtfulness of Islamic dietary laws. It's not just about what's on the plate, it's about the values and principles that guide a Muslim's life. Be sure to give a like to the video And to get more Islamic videos regularly, subscribe to our Islamic channel and press the bell icon next to it.